Welcome to this model. In this model, let us have an insight of Unit 3 of Antenna and Microengineering for EC students. Unit 3 deals with antenna array and applications, which we are going to discuss about two-element array, array factor, pattern multiplication, uniformly spaced arrays with uniform and non-uniform excitation amplitudes, and smart antennas. An antenna array is a set of multiple connected antennas which work together as a single antenna to transmit or receive radio waves. Several antennas can be arranged in space and interconnected to produce a directional radiation pattern. Such a configuration of multiple radiating elements is referred to as an antenna array. It consists of two or more antennas. The signals from the antennas are combined or processed together in order to achieve improved performance over that of a single antenna. The point source is nothing but the pattern of any antenna can be regarded as produced by an array of point sources. And at a sufficient distance in the far field of the antenna, the radiated fields of the antenna are transverse, and the power flow or pointing vector is radial as at the point O at a distance R on the observation circle. So, this diagram shows the sample of array of antenna, and this is a linear antenna and the previous one was rectangular antenna. By changing the phase of the exciting currents in each element antenna of the array, the radiation pattern can be scanned through space, and the array is then called a phased array. So, based on the geometrical positions, antenna arrays can be divided into linear array, planar array, and conformal array. In linear array, the array element centers lie along a straight line. And in planar array, the element centers are contained within a rectangular area. And in conformal arrays, the array element locations conform to a non-planar surface. And this diagram shows the example of conformal antenna array. The antenna array has many advantages, like its signal strength increases and its high directivity can be obtained, and minor lobes are very much reduced, and high signal to noise ratio can be achieved by using antenna array, and high gain is obtained and the power wastage is reduced, and better performance is obtained by using these antenna arrays. And the disadvantages of using antenna arrays are its resistive losses are increased, mounting and maintenance is difficult, and huge external space is required here. And the applications of antenna array are: it is used in satellite communications, wireless communications, military radar communications, and astronomical study. And again, the narrow main beam of a parabolic reflector antenna is scanned by slowing the entire structure, whereas the arrays can be phase scanned at the speed of control electronics without moving antenna. That is, we need only the electronic control circuits to move the beam. In addition, it is possible to track multiple targets with the phased array. So, arrays can be conformed to spaces. The radiation pattern of an array is determined by the type of individual elements used, their orientations, their position in space, and the amplitude and phase of the currents feeding them. The antenna involved in an array is known as element, and the individual element of an array may be of any form. It may be a wire, a dipole, slot, or aperture. Each element of the array can be considered as an isotropic point source. An isotropic source is nothing but which radiates equally in all directions. Now, let us introduce the subject of arrays of point sources by considering the simplest situation, namely that of two isotropic point sources. And we can take 5 cases involving two isotropic point sources. And the first one is array with equal amplitude and phase, array with equal amplitude and opposite phase, array with unequal amplitude and opposite phases. First, let us consider the case two isotropic sources with current equal in magnitude and phase. The first case we shall analyze is that two isotropic point sources having equal amplitude and oscillating in the same phase. Let the 2 point sources 1 and 2 be separated by a distance d located symmetrically with respect to the origin of the coordinates. The angle phi is measured counterclockwise. and this angle is taken from the positive x-axis. The origin of the coordinates is taken as the reference for phase. Then at a distant point in the direction phi, the field from source 1 is retarded by 1 by 2 dr cos phi, while the field from source 2 is advanced by 1 by 2 dr cos phi, where dr is the distance between the sources expressed in radians. That is, dr is equal to 2 pi into d divided by lambda. So the point sources are named as A1 and A2 and separated by distance d. Consider that both the point sources are supplied with currents equal in magnitude and phase. Consider point P away from the array, and now let the distance between point P and point sources A1 and A2 be R1 and R2 respectively. As these radial distances are extremely large as compared to the distance of separation between two point sources, and we can assume that R1 is equal to R2, that is equal to R. The radiation from the point source A2 will reach earlier at point P than that from point source A1 because of the path difference. The extra distance is travelled by the radiated wave from point source A1 than that by the radiated wave from point source A2. And hence the path difference is given by d cos phi, and the path difference can be expressed in terms of wavelength as d cos phi by lambda. Hence the phase angle phi is given by psi is equal to 2 pi into path difference, that will be equal to 2 pi into d cos phi by lambda. So this 2 pi by lambda is nothing but the phase shift beta. The above equation can be written as psi is equal to beta d cos phi radians. Let E1 be the far field at a distant point P due to point source A1, and similarly let E2 be the far field at point P due to point source A2. Then the total field at point P be the addition of two field components due to the point sources A1 and A2, and this can also be represented by the vector diagram that is shown here. If the phase angle between the two fields is psi is equal to beta d cos phi, then the far field components at point P due to the point source A1 is given by E1 is equal to E0 into e power minus j psi by 2. Similarly, the far field components at point P due to point source A2 is given by E2 is equal to E0 into e power j psi by 2. E0 is the amplitude of the field component at a distance r. And we can note that the amplitude of both field components is E0 as currents are same and the point sources are identical. The total field at point P is given by Et is equal to E1 plus E2, and this can be written as E0 into e power minus j psi by 2 plus E0 into e power plus j psi by 2. Taking E0 outside, we will get it is equal to E0 into e power minus j psi by 2 plus e power plus j psi by 2. Rearranging this equation, that is multiplying and dividing the equation by 2, we get it is equal to 2 E0 into e power j psi by 2 plus e power minus j psi by 2 by 2. So by trigonometric identity, e power j theta plus e power minus j theta by 2 is equal to cos theta. So we can write this equation as cos of psi by 2. So Et can be written as 2 E0 into cos psi by 2. So substituting the value of psi is nothing but beta d cos phi, and this equation becomes Et is equal to 2 E0 into cos of beta d cos phi by 2. So the above equation represents total fields in the intensity at any point P due to point sources having currents of same amplitude and phase. The total amplitude of the field at point P is 2 E0, while the phase shift is beta d cos phi by 2. And the array factor is the ratio of the magnitude of the resultant field to the magnitude of the maximum field. So AF is equal to ET by Emax. So the maximum field is Emax is equal to 2 E naught and AF is equal to ET by 2 E naught. That will be given as cos of pi d by lambda into cos phi. The array factor represents the relative value of the field as a function of phi, and it defines the radiation pattern in a plane containing the line of the array. Thank you.